Hello everyone and welcome back to a top level game of professional StarCraft 2. Today it's time for a Zerg versus Terran. The map is Berlingrad, and in the top left corner, playing with the blue Zerg drones from Italy, we have Reynor. And his opponent in the opposite corner with the red Terran SCVs from South Korea, we are looking at Maru's main command center. Now, do these players really need any additional introduction? I mean, if you've been watching StarCraft 2, I guess in Reynor's case, over like the last 5 years or so, but in Maru's case, over like the last 12? Maru has been playing this game since 2010. I know he's been competing since that year as well, even though I think at the time he was like 12 years old. He's been going at it for a long time, and both of these guys, I guess what I'm getting at is that they're ridiculously successful throughout their careers so far. Maru, as of me making this video, according to Ligilek, currently considered to be the rank 2 in the world overall. Reynor, currently considered to be the rank 3. Now, in case you're wondering, who's number 1? Yeah, it's gotta be Cyril, right? It's gotta be Cyril. Anyways, both of these guys very good at the game. I haven't seen this match yet. I don't know who ends up winning it either, so I'm excited to find out exactly what ended up going down right here on Berlingrad. Historically, these two have faced off against each other only 13 times. So, Reynor obviously primarily competes over on the European servers, whereas Maru primarily competes in Asia. And because of that, this should be a pretty interesting clash of playstyles as well. Maru, of course, recently has been showing well, he's been showing a lot of Terran Mech, but he's been showing a wide variety of openers. Generally speaking, not really playing that classical 1-1-1 anymore, although he does like to mix it in as well from time to time, but it's not necessarily his standard. He's been going for a lot of very aggressive Marine-based pushes. Like I said, he's been playing a lot of Terran Mech as well, and just in general, he's been mixing it up a lot. So I think it's important for Reynor to figure out exactly what he's going up against right here in the earlier stages of the game. Generally, Zerg is going to be the more reactive race. Since, of course, they've got that larva mechanic, they can make a very large army in a very short amount of time. So usually what Zerg try to do is they try to make as many drones as possible, and then simultaneously, make as little, as far as army goes, as they can until the opponent tries to actually hit them on their side of the map, optimizing the amount of economy they actually get. So far, though, very normal opener right here from Maru. Going for a reactor into a factory here as well. I'm expecting the big switcheroo. Maru not actually scouting anything just yet. Little bit risky. He could also go and make a... Yeah, okay, I was gonna say. He could make one Hellion over here and then like 2 Marines out of this very first barracks. So normally we see either an SCV scout or a Reaper scout or both. This is another thing that Maru has been doing in some of his games. He just skips all of it. So a pretty quick starport here. This should be something that Reynor is going to scout shortly as well. Reynor did pull all of the drones out of the gas geyser here to opt to go for a faster third base. This does mean that he's not going to get Overlord speed or anything along those lines, which is something that I've seen Reynor play quite a bit as well recently. So just playing this straightforward. He'll probably fly in this Overlord right around 3:45 to 4 minutes or so to scout out exactly what it is the Terran player is going for. So what exactly is Maru going for? Well, he's going for a medevac right now, as well as, I guess, by the time that the medevac is out, he's going to have like 7 Marines, and then a couple of Hellions. So this is kind of what I mean, right? It's a strange start. Oh, we're going straight into a fusion core. Okay. So it's a bit of a strange start. It seems unoptimized, but Maru, I think, is opening up here with battle cruisers, while simultaneously hitting his opponent in the face with a couple of random units. So I think that these Marines are probably going to try and go Overlord hunting. Maybe go into the main base. And then the Hellions will try and, well, maybe poke and prod at the third base or deal a little bit of damage. Anyways, here's Reynor going into the main. Good scout. Sees the timing of the tech lab. I don't know if he's seen the medevac yet. Well, at this point, he's seen it. I think that these Overlords are going to be in some trouble. Is he going to see the fusion core as well, though? I think he needs to, because otherwise he's going to be in a bit of trouble here. I think he should be able to pick up on it. Yep, there it is. So Reynor sees exactly what he is going up against. Actually, Overlord speed finishes. Wait. Did I... Hold up. I'm going back for just a second. I thought that I saw Overlord speed right there on the production tab for a little bit. Okay, yeah. He started it for a second and then... Okay, yeah, I just backed up for like 10 seconds. Anyways. Either that was a misclick or he planned on starting it if he didn't see exactly what it is the Terran player is going for, but right now he's found out that indeed it's going to be a battlecruiser start. Now, battlecruisers do take a very long time to produce. So not something that Maru is going to be able to use until like a minute or so from now. Reynor has started up immediately the lair as well as a pretty quick Roach Warren as a follow-up. So this Roach Warren should be timed correctly to start up the Glial Reconstitution upgrade right around the time that it finishes. So that's the Roach Speed upgrade. Pretty helpful. But of course the lair primarily used here in case it's going to be a multiple battlecruiser opener. You kind of need to go for a Spire. Okay, this is dealing a lot of damage though. Sniping 2 queens here would be super nice for Maru. Okay, it's gonna be 1 queen. Spores are starting up in all bases. Always feels a little bit scary, right? These are relatively late, but Reynor, of course, being very good at the game, he knows the timing at which these need to start in order for it to be done by the time that the battlecruiser actually shows up on his side of the map. The follow-up right now, though, from Maru is going to be additional factories. So we've seen Maru play mech on 2000 Atmos. We've seen him play it, of course, on Hardwire. Apparently, Berlingrad is another map as well where this can be played. Anyways, there's the battlecruiser inside of the Natural Expo here of the Zerg. Double armory as a follow-up as well from Maru. I'm a big fan of like the I'm going to open up with 7 Marines but actually play mech sort of starts, right? Because it's very easy to make the assumption here it's going to be a bio army here as a follow-up. At least in the past, whenever we saw Terran Mech, it was just straight up multiple factories. So you wouldn't even see any Marines. Maybe 1, but this is kind of cool. Anyways, I'm sure that Reynor has picked up on the potential here that it's mech as well. So far, the BC not really getting a whole lot of work done, though. And I don't think I really like this opener here from Maru all too much, although maybe these Hellions can change that. Alright, that's much better. That's really good. Yeah, most of the Hellions will probably go home as well. Alright. Same time, some damage being done here, but that drop by Maru. Oh, those 7 Marines dealing so much damage here. Even picking up the weakened SCV. I mean, 3 workers, that could have been 13 easy. Alright, Maru showing what he's made of. Did he just see the additional factories? He did. Okay, so seeing 2 factories is enough. This would be too early to go for a second factory. I mean, we do see double factory production as well with biological armies, but usually that doesn't get added on until a little while later. There's the Yamato gun upgrade for Maru. The weapon refit. +1 missile, roach speed, as well as the Spire here for Reynor. Yeah, I would like to go into the main base. Try and figure out exactly what it is the Terran's going for. Once upon a time, you could get the read on the amount of armories they would be happening or would be going for. So if you saw only 1 armory, usually it would be a more aggressive style of Terran Mech. Whereas with double armory, it would be more laid back. You would have also been able to scout the fusion core, doing its little fusion core dance. That indicates that something's researching, and at this point in the game, it really can only be that Yamato gun upgrade. Or Yamato cannon. Alright, so a lot of damage, though, is being done. BC's right here on the left side of the map, trying to be as annoying as possible. Brenda over here in the front getting so many transfuses. Alright, that was clean, I guess, but 17 drones in total on the right side is not ideal whatsoever. Alright. You kind of need to deal at least some damage, though, right, as Terran here, because otherwise you're just going to get a massive Roach Corruptor push in the face. I mean, it's still something that Reynor could do, but Reynor certainly was forced to remake some of his eco. Or not necessarily forced, but expected to, because otherwise he would be in a lot of trouble. Scanner right there also reveals a Corruptor, so Maru knows that he should be keeping these battlecruisers at home for at least a little while longer. Alright, so there's the 3rd one. I mean, with the Yamato cannon done, you can pop 3 of those Corruptors right away. So there's 10 Corruptors, which I do think is pretty decent, but yeah, not necessarily the ideal amount. Maybe 10 is okay. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Reynor adds on a couple more here, if he scouts that there is indeed an additional battlecruiser out right now. I love this, by the way. Planetary Fortress, Supply Depot, and then, I guess, yeah, triple missile turret as well, sprinkled around. This looks relatively random. Missile turret over there tucked as well. This looks relatively random, but it's extremely good when it comes to defending against those roach pushes, because the roaches will be forced to funnel in between these structures. It's the little moves that make all the difference. Anyways, Hive gonna finish up around 10 minutes into the game. +1 flyer come up. Okay, never mind. He cancels it. I guess that's an indication he wants to go for the Greater Spire first. There's the Yamato cannons. There's the teleportation. Most players would have teleported all of them at once, but he's like, nah, I can get one more creep tumor too. Then teleport the other guys. Alright. Maru so far heavily in the driver's seat in this game. That said, Reynor's got a good eco. He's taken a lot of bases. The creep spread is looking absolutely phenomenal. He's basically smashed his piggy bank and he's just pointing at whatever he likes and he's upgrading it and building it. And he knows very well that Maru is not going to be pushing out here just yet. Here's the additional barracks already though, as well as the Ghost Academy. So I think this is the fastest I've seen anyone go 5 Command Center Terran Mech into Ghosts. Like that is very quick. Almost feels a little bit too quick. I wonder if this is something that Reynor can punish. Reynor, by the way, spreading creep at the, well, the 6 o'clock expansion here from Maru. Yeah, the amount of queens he's built right here to deal with those battle cruisers, I guess, can aid him as well with that creep spread a little while later into the game. This is also the point where those additional command centers start up. So Maru plans on basically being able to replace any SCV with mules, or obviously scan wherever you like. Alright. So there's the Ravens coming up. There's the Ghosts. I mean, what Maru is trying to go for right now is go for the ultimate Terran Death Bowl. I love the addition of the Raven. If there's one major critique that I've had for the Terran Mech army as far as like the Death Bowl goes, it is that Ravens are extremely good. It's just that Raven and all of these other units in combination with the Ghosts and stuff are super hard to play properly. You need like 5 different control groups. I think Reynor's current strategy is to probably allow his opponent 5 bases, but no more. So there are additional command centers here. But he's scouting the right side of the map. He probably wants to make sure that the bottom left is also not taken, at least without him knowing. Is there enough anti-air available, though? Yeah, this is actually a pretty scary timing attack right here with those Brute Lords. This is kind of right in between the Ghost being out as well as that Terran Bank being available. So he doesn't really have that much anti-air at this point. Anti-armor missile is nice and all, but Maru may have just been a little bit too greedy. This Brute Lord attack actually hits like an absolute truck. Really nice find here by Reynor. Yeah, finding a full vulnerability here in the army of Maru. And hitting his opponent just like a minute or so before the Terran base would be essentially impenetrable. I mean, once the ghost count is high enough, Brute Lords really aren't gonna cut it. Nice attack right here by Reynor. That being said, there's still a couple of those bad boys out. Sniping whatever they can. The queens, though, with so much creep spread, are apparently at the front as well. Corruptors even using their caustic spray ability on the planetary fortress. It's not often that we see a Brute Lord timing attack, but I love this one. Really nicely done by Reynor. Brute Lord's widely considered to be quite bad against Terran in particular. We never see them against Zerg. We do see them against, I guess, ground Protoss, but most of the games seem to focus around Skytools right now. Anyways, Reynor showing us that you don't necessarily have to go for lurkers against this sort of army. Soon though, especially with the Thor count growing right now and additional ghosts coming out, I don't think the brutes, are going to be able to survive for all too long. But now Maru's bases are disconnected. Reynor following this up with a very low-tech army. Creep has been spread all the way towards the 6 o'clock base as well. So Maru is being completely overwhelmed here. 28 SCVs have gone down so far, and I guess Reynor plans on blocking this expansion, not with, like, burrowed Zerglings, but just by putting creep tumors on those bases. Still, if there's one thing we've seen Maru do in a lot of his games, it's that he refuses to die. Maru is definitely the best defensive Terran player in the world, and while he got caught with his pants down just now... I mean, this is a lot of Zerg, though. I don't want to hype it up all too much, because this... that's a lot of Zerg. Still good drops right there by Maru, trying to soak up as many of those bailing hits as possible. We do see a couple of snipes here as well in the back once again. Medevac, pick up the... I guess he's busy. Yeah. Those Corruptors are actually putting in a lot of work. Maru still has a good amount of command centers though, but Reynor has essentially taken the entire map. At this point, Reynor has got... well, more bases than Maru should ever be able to take in this particular game. He's also got 89 drones, so it's not like that was all in by him, at all. He's just going to be able to transition from here into whatever he likes. Now, what does he like? He likes a win. So, he's decided to just go for a huge amount of units, and I think his current strategy is to try and swarm the opponent. Just try and overwhelm them with huge amounts of stuff. Okay, obviously this is not a very cost-efficient trade. Once again, good pickups right there by Maru, trying to allow additional siege tank shots, right? By like forcing those banelings to go into the direction of where those hellbats are dropped. This is not a good fight here for Reynor. That was not good. That was a lot of lost resources right there. 2 Brute Lords, okay? I think that's 2 of the Corruptors from earlier. Just trying to be a nuisance. Resource lost-wise, though, you can see right now it's starting to add up. It was relatively even earlier, but that previous fight was nothing right there that the Zerg player was hoping for. Yeah, actually engaging on this map is quite tricky, right? So at this point, Reynor doesn't have a whole lot of access points into the Terran's bases. Flying units obviously can just go over the terrain, but I really like what Maru's done here. Those siege tanks over here not mining out the mineral fields. The debris over there in the back as well, making it hard for the Zerg player to go in there. Blinding Clouds though, okay. Snipes right there as well by Maru on those Vipers. Really nicely done. There's so many siege tanks out though. Okay, Corrosive Bowels over there. I think that siege tank will go down. Yeah, a lot of tanks are slowly dwindling. Once again, 22 SCVs go down. At the same time, there is 1 Viking apparently here taking care of the couple of Brute Lords on the right side of the map. Maru has now lost 63 SCVs. The creep is slowly embracing him as well, right? Like, we've got creep tumors surrounding all of the expos. Reynor's thinking, rinse and repeat, baby. Let's go again. +3 is going to finish up soon enough. It benefits not only the Zerglings, but also the Banelings, actually. The Banelings do benefit from melee upgrades. It's a little bit funny, I guess. Okay. Reinforcement right here for Benny the Brute Lord. The Queen. Never mind. Alright, Reynor once again going through that exact same choke point. The siege tank count has slowly been reduced. He's hoping that his opponent is just gonna, like, tap out of this game here soon enough. There's so many units, though. Okay, good biles there by Zerg, but Terran's holding on. Maru has been dead for, like, 5 minutes here. But like I said, he refuses to die. He's even thinking about taking the 6 o'clock base. That's not even the old Terran main base either. That's just one of his additional command centers. I guess the way to come back here from Maru is to just put down orbital commands in every single possible location and just mine it all out. Reynor has taken the top right as well as the bottom left. Those are about as far apart as you can be. I don't even think I can show you in one... Oh, I can. All right. With one, like, mouse pad drag with my mouse. DPI a little bit too low for that, but apparently I could barely make it. Anyways, what I'm getting at is that this map is absolutely enormous. I think that Maru, though, gladly trades a planetary fortress over here with 4 low mineral fields for a base all the way down south. This is actually now a super important expansion. Maru going for a planetary here on the high ground would also be really nice, right? Because then the Zerg can't really run into the base of the Terran as easily. Reynor, though, using that creep spread to his advantage, it obviously speeds up those Zerg units. Trying to get into position here once again. Alright. Is there enough for the Terran player to hold on to wave number 69 of this Zerg assault? I think he's got enough. Yeah. A couple of snipes as well. Just try to get whatever you can. Okay, a few Zerglings here in the Natural Expo, dealing some damage. Nope, it's blocked by creep spread. Zerg once again going through that choke point, man. This choke point has been like the saving grace of Maru. And once again, Maru holds on. Look at this. This is Reynor basically throwing like 10,000 resources at the problem. And the problem is called Maru. Why won't you just die? The ultimate anime villain over here. I feel like Maru only powers up when he's behind. It's actually insane. I think every other Terran player in the world would have GG'd out by now. So what Maru is trying to go for, still the same plan as the original one. He's trying to go for a death ball. He just needs to max out once. It's not like Zerg has that much money here either. Okay, now this is maybe a bit of a better angle right here for Reynor to come in from. Oh, Ghost activated right there at the perfect time. That split on the Ghost was gorgeous. I mean, I think everyone in the StarCraft community agrees that Ghosts are a little bit overtuned, but like Maru definitely is making the best of it, right? Don't mind if I do, he says. Yeah, in general, the Zerg late game units all get countered pretty well by Ghosts. Be it Brute Lords, be it Ultras, be it Lurkers, be it Infestors, be it Vipers. He's actually moving out! Maru! You absolute madman. That is so risky though, right? Because that means that all of the bases here of Terran are going to be, like, this base is super vulnerable. I would love to see a group of Zerglings going over there. Anyways, apparently this is the moment where Maru is forced to defend against a huge Zerg army, and he actually holds! He actually holds in the middle of the map. Oh my god, Maru! No way. Is Reynor about to get robbed of this game? As in, like, is Maru so good that he actually managed to push his way back into it? He's got 36 supply in workers, but 104 in army. This is one hell of a Terran army over here. The creep tumors are destroyed as well. SCVs are pulled here too to the front, just to make sure that he can apparently, yeah, defend those siege tanks, right? And maybe soak up a couple of Baneling hits. Zerg thinking about going for a full-on wraparound here against these Terran armies. A couple of the siege tanks are not actually sieged up. Maru, though, still picking up the weakened units. The Ghosts sniping whatever they can. Good splits there as well. Taking a couple of units, a couple of those Banelings to the face, but it's not quite enough. Reynor, at this point, he doesn't have any larvae. He's got 2,200 minerals in the bank, but no larvae to spend it on. Oh my god. Maru. Maru, Maru, Maru. Oh, it's hard not to be a Maru fan, right? This guy is insanely good. Okay, so the 6 o'clock expansion, I mean, Maru has been crossing his fingers, hoping for a little while that there's no Zerglings running on over there. Okay, now finally the base will be found. This is around the same time, though, as Maru is taking care of a base in the top right-hand corner. Alright. Injects. Yeah, should have popped off by now. Reynor has spent some of his bank, but he doesn't actually have that much money. At this point, though, Maru is flat broke. He did secure another base over here. Interestingly enough, he still seems to have a healthy amount of workers for these couple of mineral fields. Here we go once again, though. Reynor moving forward. He's still mining significantly more than the Terran opponent, but he's dealing so much damage, Maru that is, with the units that he does have. The siege tanks over here, okay, eventually do get biled down. Nice move right there by the Italian. $50 drones are in the bottom left. Reynor's running out of mineral fields. He needs to take new bases. If you look right now at resources lost, yeah, this is some of the absolute worst Zerg efficiency I've ever seen. Or I guess Terran efficiency. It's a playstyle choice right here by Reynor, right? Maybe he should have teched up and tried to go for something a little bit better. This guy, Maru that is just ridiculous. In my mind, this once again proves that he's the best Terran player in the world. I still don't think he's winning this game. But considering he was like literally 3 base versus like 8, he still makes it look close. Alright. Yeah, no, there's no way, right? There's no way. This army here from Terran in the bottom left needs to win the game. Reynor playing as safe as he can. He spent his bank. Reynor has no money anymore. He needs to win against this Terran army right here, right now. He does have a couple of good stacked up siege tanks, though. Maru is gonna get some corrosive balls to the face, and eventually, Reynor obtains the victory, but that was ridiculous. Incredibly well played right there by Maru. I mean, Reynor won the game, but I'm very impressed with the way that Maru managed to hold out in this match.